Big news today is Binance Smart Chain got hacked and basically almost $100 million were stolen. Hackers managed to hack a bridge between BNB Smart Chain and BNB Bitcoin Chain. So this is known as BSC token hub. And the total of 2 million BNB was withdrawn. The exploit was through a sophisticated forging of the low-level proof into one common library. The funny thing here is that Binance actually managed to stop the whole chain from operating in order to not allow actually spreading this exploit even further and allowing the hackers stealing even more money. So this is pretty interesting how they did it. Basically, they have this decentralized chain. However, they managed to contact all the community validators one by one and were able to stop the incident from spreading, which is pretty amazing. So there are 26 active validators at present, in 44 in total, and basically they managed to contact them one by one until they managed to get the majority of them to stop. This is really interesting also because it shows that to some extent certain blockchains are not really decentralized. If you have just a certain amount of validators, you're able basically to tell them to stop at a given period of time. This happened to Solana as well in the past and happened to Binance right now. So I wanted to mention this whole issue. I do not normally talk about the current issues so much. However, I wanted to mention that because going forward into the future, we probably will see more centralized blockchains, and that's fine because on one hand, we'll have more regulations coming from basically all the governments trying to govern what's happening on the blockchain, trying to get KYC addresses or AML, everything. So this is in the end really important to understand that you will have probably a couple of types of blockchains. One blockchain will be totally privately owned but public and with just a couple of validators, I guess up to probably 100 of validators that you can easily contact and easily censor the whole blockchain. Those kind of blockchains will be super compliant with everything that the US government or European Union or other countries' governments will come up with when it comes to regulations, and those blockchains will be the blockchains related to companies that are operating in the US because they have to be compliant. Also, large exchanges like Binance will also probably have to be compliant in that respect, and probably there's nothing wrong. Those kind of blockchains are also fine to exist because we want people to have mass adoption in the end. On the other hand, there will be the things on the other end, on the other edge, which is blockchains that are totally private. So think about it like a dark net of blockchains like Monero and blockchains which are similar to Monero, where you don't know who's the validator, there's some kind of anonymity, there's some kind of randomness in it, and it might be hard to know who's operating underneath. On the other hand, those kind of blockchains will be totally unregulated, probably even illegal to some respect, and it would be super hard to cash out of those blockchains. So if you operate on those blockchains, you won't be really able to go out of those blockchains. Everything you earn in those blockchains or get into those blockchains, you will have to spend within the ecosystem. On the other hand, probably there will be something in the middle. So things that exist, being like having many validators, but at the same time that might be the list of blacklisted addresses that we don't operate with. Like for example, if you were using Tornado Cash, or if you were using some other malicious software, or maybe you were trying to do something illegal, then your address will be blacklisted and all the people that transact with you will be blacklisted as well to a certain extent. This is really happening, and the question right now is to what extent this will happen and what we'll see in the end in the future. So thinking about that right now in this context of this hack of the blockchain of the bridge is really important, because we're really going into this future of some of the blockchains being censored and some of the blockchains will be censor resistant, and there will be something in the middle with people with maybe some addresses being on the whitelist, on the blacklist. We're going to see. So thinking about the future, it is exciting, but definitely the blockchain space will get more regulated. I guess the more we get into the mainstream, the more people we get on board, the more interest the whole space generates. There will be attempts to regulate the whole space, and it's only normal. If we want to compete with banks, then we have to play by some of the rules that banks are already following, and in order to not play by those rules, you will have to go outside of the system. Probably there's a place for both. We'll see how it turns out in the end. However, remember, this is the frontier, and if you want to help, you have to build the tools yourself, engage yourself, either by educating or building the actual product. It's really important, and any kind of help you can get in Web3 is really important. So thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel for more crypto news, crypto opinions, crypto updates, and see you in the next episode.